Welcome back to our channel where we bring you the most inspiring stories of successful individuals who have overcome countless obstacles to achieve greatness. We all know that wealth and success don't come easy, but these billionaires prove that with hard work, determination, and perseverance, anything is possible. They remind us that our backgrounds and circumstances do not define our future and that we are capable of achieving greatness regardless of where we come from. So, sit back, relax, and get ready to be motivated and inspired by the stories of billionaires who were once poor before. From struggling with poverty, facing homelessness, and overcoming personal tragedies, their stories are a testament to the power of resilience and the unwavering human spirit. Number 1. Oprah Winfrey. Family wealth isn't the secret to this billionaire and media maven's unparalleled success. Now worth an estimated $2.5 billion, according to Forbes, Oprah Winfrey was born to a teenage single mother in Mississippi. In an interview with Barbara Walters, she talked about not having running water or electricity growing up. By focusing on school, participating in beauty pageants and then working at a radio station, Winfrey was able to enter the media world. She got her big break in television as a host for the local Baltimore talk show, People Are Talking. Later came The Oprah Winfrey Show, which entered national syndication in 1986. In a 2001 taping of The Oprah Winfrey Show, Winfrey shared some tips on making the shift to a wealth mindset. The whole idea, I think, of having wealth is not letting wealth use you but you use it, she said. Being a person who has come from an outhouse and very poor circumstances, I can assure you that the more money you get, it really doesn't change you, unless you are the kind of person who is defined by money. Number 2. Howard Schultz. Howard Schultz helped Starbucks become the company it is today. However, this successful businessman, who boasts a net worth of $3.9 billion, wasn't born into wealth. In an interview with Dr. Mukund Rajan of the Group Executive Council, Schultz discussed his childhood and what it was like growing up with less. When I was 7 years old, I experienced something that deeply affected me that I carry with me every single day, he said. And that is the scar and the shame of being a poor kid living in government-subsidized housing. Schultz said his father became a broken man after working in many dead-end jobs that offered neither money nor respect. But this hardship seemed to motivate Schultz to become a success. I never dreamed I would be in a position one day to be part of a company where I would have authority, let alone build a company, Schultz said. What I've tried to do is build the kind of company that my father never got a chance to work for. Schultz joined Starbucks in 1981 and worked his way to the top. Number 3. Ralph Lauren. Known for its polo shirts and high-end attire, the Ralph Lauren fashion brand is easily recognizable. But did you know that there was a time when the iconic fashion designer couldn't even afford new clothes? As a kid, I was always into clothes, but I didn't have the money to buy them, Lauren told fellow billionaire Oprah Winfrey in a 2002 interview. When I'd get my brother's hand-me-downs, there was an energy in me that made me say, I want to get my own things, to make my own statement. Somewhere along the line, that energy, coupled with my exposure, through movies, to a world I hadn't known, turned into something. Number 4. Larry Ellison. Oracle co-founder, chairman and chief technology officer Larry Ellison was born in New York City but grew up in a lower middle-class community on the south side of Chicago. I'll never complain again about living in a bad neighborhood, after moving from the Lower East Side of Manhattan to a still worse neighborhood on the south side of Chicago, said Ellison in an interview posted on the Academy of Achievement website. After my 9th month, I kept my mouth shut about the neighborhood. A 1997 Vanity Fair profile on Ellison described his childhood home as a cramped walk-up apartment. According to the article, Ellison was raised by his great-aunt and great-uncle, who was once successful in real estate but lost everything in the Depression. Although he came from modest beginnings, Ellison is now a multi-billionaire worth $97.3 billion, per Forbes. Number 5. Kenneth Langone. Self-made billionaire businessman and investor Kenneth Langone, who helped create Home Depot, had humble beginnings. In a 2013 interview with One Wire, posted on Business Insider, Langone said he had a charmed life as a child, but not because of his material possessions. In fact, his mother was a cafeteria worker. Still, Langone enjoyed unconditional love, which later helped him get over his failures and not let them bring him down. When you're in the risk-taking business at the level that I am, not everything you're going to do is going to work, he said. Where you really lose is when it doesn't work, and you start being abusive to yourself in terms of your qualities and your abilities. Today, Langone has a net worth of $5.8 billion, according to Forbes. "I worked like hell to become part of the 1%, he said. "Before we go any further, please hit like and subscribe to our small channel. We truly appreciate it." Now back to rags to riches. Number 6. David Murdock. The former chairman of Dole Food Products, David Murdock was raised in Wayne, Ohio, the son of a traveling salesman father and a mother who did other people's laundry and scrubbed their floors to bolster her husband's unsteady income. Dyslexic and mocked at school because of his poor grades, he dropped out at 14 and set out on his own, he told the New York Times Magazine in 2011. He got a job at a gas station and lived in a room on site. While he couldn't succeed in school, he decided to learn on his own, reading biographies of famous people, along with the works of William Shakespeare and Socrates. He was drafted into the U.S. Army in 1943, and when he was discharged at age 22, he had no money and slept in a park in Detroit until he met a man who worked at a loan company who wanted to aid the homeless veteran. The man helped him acquire $1,200 to buy a diner, which Murdock sold 18 months later for a $700 profit. Murdock spent $75 on a car and headed west, landing in Phoenix, where he bought cheap land and built affordable homes for other westward migrants after World War II. Bang, bang, bang. I could hardly get a house finished before it was sold. His construction business spread and he used the profits to buy stock, eventually parlaying his earnings into becoming the largest shareholder in Occidental Petroleum. He eventually took over Dole after acquiring its parent company in 1985. Number 7. Alan Gerry. While he has a net worth of $1.5 billion today, Alan Gerry grew up in Liberty, New York, during the Depression. A frozen food distributor, Gerry's father often struggled to feed the family on his salary. Gerry later dropped out of high school to serve in the Marines during World War II. He used his GI Bill benefits to become trained in television repair and, in 1956, he invested $1,500 to start a cable company in his hometown. Decades later, his business evolved into 64 cable systems in 18 states. He sold the company to Time Warner in 1996 for a reported $2.7 billion, including $900 million in personal profit. Gerry used the money to start his venture capital fund Granite Associates and has continued to give back to the community where he was raised, including building the Bethel Woods Center for the Arts. Number 8. John Paul DeJoria. Founding high-end tequila company Patron Spirits Company and haircare company Paul Mitchell Systems turned John Paul DeJoria into a mogul with a net worth of $2.8 billion. In a 2011 interview with Forbes, DeJoria, who was once in foster care, discussed growing up poor in the Echo Park neighborhood of Los Angeles. "We didn't know that we were really going through tough times, because everybody was going through the same thing," he said. "I remember once in junior high school, on a Friday, my mom came home from work and said to my brother and I, 'You know, between us, we have only 27 cents, but we have food in the refrigerator, we have our little garden out back and we're happy, so we are rich.'" A true rags to riches story, he was homeless twice before joining forces with Paul Mitchell in 1980 to create the billion-dollar haircare brand. He now uses his fortune to give back, and he even was named Variety's 2017 Philanthropist of the Year. Number 9. Harold Hamm. The youngest of 13 kids, Harold Hamm was raised by Oklahoma sharecroppers, who put him to work picking cotton barefoot as a child. The founder, chairman and CEO of oil company Continental Resources now has a net worth of $17.2 billion, but at age 16 he had to take a job at a gas station to support his loved ones. Despite his family's financial struggles, in a 2014 interview with Forbes, Hamm revealed that he drew inspiration from fellow Enid, Oklahoma, residents. One was a local potter who spoke to Hamm and his classmates at a school assembly. Number 10. J.K. Rowling. In a 2013 interview with the London-based Daily Mail, J.K. Rowling shared her struggles as a single parent, before the Harry Potter books turned her into the world's highest-paid author. "I remember 20 years ago not eating so my daughter would eat," she said. "I remember nights when there was literally no money. Those days are long past," as the author earned $95 million between June 2016 and June 2017, according to Forbes. Now a philanthropist, Rowling enjoys giving back so much that an estimated $160 million in charitable giving contributed to her fall from billionaire status in 2012. Today, Rowling's fortune is back up to $1 billion, according to Celebrity Net Worth.